Welcome to Best Wellness Interviews, where successful people share their attitudes on wellness and key strategies they use for their health and well-being. Today, Ian Kingwill has joined us. Welcome, Ian.
G'day, Kristine. How are you going?
I'm good. How are you today?
When my eyes open every day, I'm having a pretty good day, and it's a beautiful sunny day where I am.
Nice. Well, why don't you give us a little rundown? And thank you very much for giving your time today to inspire people with your unique wellness style. And
Yep.
I happen to have a little inside information about that. That's why I've invited you to share what you do. So introduce yourself to our audience and tell us a little about yourself and what your work is.
Thanks, Kristine. It's a pleasure to actually come on your call and help you out and support you and all that sort of stuff. But I'm Ian Kingwill. I live in a place called Bargara, little piece of Nirvana, I'd call it, in Queensland, southern end of the Great Barrier Reef, near Bundaberg, for those that don't know where it is. Very temperate climate, great lifestyle, great way to have a healthy lifestyle as well. And I'm married to my lovely wife, Helen, and we've been here for just 16 months, I think, coming up. And what do? I provide a service for people to put a smile on other people's faces, whether it's in business or personal, simply by sending that simple little thing called a greeting card. It's called a hug in the mail. Yeah, a piece of folded cardboard. You can actually send it from your computer. You can send it from your the app on your phone. You can personalize it. You can program it to go out. You can save time and money. You can be remembered, not forgotten, and that's one of the things in business. And but you can celebrate people and make people have a smile on their face just by what you send. A little bit of gratitude, a little bit of appreciation. That can help you grow your business and help you be more and more successful. And I guess it's part of being healthy and being well, because when you're happy and you put a smile on somebody's face, you send a card, you're happy because you made somebody smile, and they're happy because you made them smile. So that's pretty much who I am.
Yeah, and I've had the opportunity to use that card service, and I've had very good response from the people I've sent the cards to. It does make them feel good. And people remember you when you make them feel good. Well, they
It's so
remember you if you don't make them feel good, so you're better off making them feel good, right?
And it's not just cards, it's just a simple word as a thank you, a smile, a compliment, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
I think that's part of being successful and being positive. It's part of a positive attitude too, which is so important in life.
I agree with that. And living in Bargara, you've got to admit that the climate there is rather conducive to doing walks or enjoying the scenery up there, right?
I'd also almost say it's almost perfect because it's the temperature doesn't change too much. Like a winter is probably somewhere between 15 and 22. The odd cool morning of about 10 degrees, but still warms up to about 20. The summers sit somewhere between 22 and about 30. And like this morning, I think it was 26, and I think we've got to 28 or 29. With a sea breeze, walk along the beach, have a swim in the ocean. I can't ask for anything more. It's my perfect lifestyle.
So, Ian, um, what's your attitude towards wellness?
I think wellness or health, whatever you want to call it, is probably the most important aspect of you being successful. If you're not healthy and well, guess what? It's damn hard to do anything, whether it's business, personal, just work for somebody. If you're not in a good state physically, mentally, it's really difficult. And I think health and wellness, I'm not a fitness fanatic or anything like that, but I think that being healthy and fit and all those sort of things, looking after yourself is so important. And it's not just the physical side of it, it's the rest, getting plenty of sleep, making sure you eat the right food. Sure, you can binge and have the odd thing that's probably not right recommended, but that's okay, that's a treat. But it's about enjoying life and being happy.
I think that's a very important point that you raised there. Sometimes people go on really strict diets and they can do it for a little while, but then, you know, they give in and they end up going back to a really bad diet all the time because they've abstained so long that it just consumes them. So I think that reflects a person who's got a good balance. Would you say that's you?
I totally agree. I've never been one for binge diets or any of those sort of things and stuff. I know thinking back in the past when I had a wholesale meat run, I used to drive from Sydney to Bathurst and I'd eat junk food and rubbish food. But I guess I just listened to my body, and when I felt a bit uncomfortable, I started to drink more water and probably eat healthier foods and salads and get a little bit more exercise. So I think if you listen to your body, listen to how you feel, it's pretty easy to overcome it, and you don't have to be what's the right word? Irrational. Go out in the deep end trying to do everything. The extreme diet or something like that. You just got to listen and do the simple things that will make you healthy.
Yeah, I think you've got the right attitude, and a lot of people don't listen to their bodies. They
True.
don't. They just ignore the warning signs of aches and pains or whatever it is, and when it becomes a major problem, then they do something about it. But it should be something that they instinctively do, is to listen to their body. But sometimes fast-paced lifestyles, I don't know, they just make people, they get on a one track sort of with blinkers on, and they just do the job. They come home, look after the family. They don't look after themselves, and that's not a healthy way to live. I
Totally
think
agree. Totally agree.
from what I understand, that you have explained to me, you have a great relationship with your wife, you have other friends, you have other interests, and you've got a very, very good balance. And I think balance is a key thing. And the balance that you have might not be the balance that other people have, but it
No.
just highlights the point that you listen to your body and you give time to other people, like your wife and friends.
I think all those components fit, and I think you've got to do in life what's best for you, what you feel comfortable with. If you want to stress about work, well, you're going to have stress in other areas as well.
It's going to flow onto home.
Yeah, but every part of that, whatever you do in your every day, is about you. It's like I have a different lifestyle to most people. As you know, I get up really early.
Yeah, so
But
why don't you share with our listeners, our
I'll get to that in
audience?
a sec. But I was just going to say that from a little kid, I've always been active, right? I love playing sport. Whatever sport was going, I'd get into it. I was even one of those silly guys that wanted to go to football training. I wasn't forced to go to training. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the competition. I like to challenge myself. And I've just done what feels right for me throughout my whole career. And I played football till I was nearly 40. And I've never really had a major injury. And throughout that whole time, I've probably looked after my body. I'm always stretching. As I said, I'm not a fitness fanatic. If I don't go for a walk or go for a swim, it's not the end of the world. I don't sort of hyperventilate and say, I've got to get out there and do it. It's part of it. And you said about, I have a different lifestyle. I get up really, really early, and I mean really, really early, like 3 o'clock, 3:30, and it's just a lifestyle balance that works for me. I don't sit up and watch TV. The only time I do that is when I want to watch some sport and things like that, but I still get a bit of rest beforehand. And it just works for me. And I think you find what works for you. You stay up much later than I do, but that probably works for you. Those sort of things. So you find what you are. I have a different way of eating. I don't eat evening meals. I found that eating an evening meal makes me uncomfortable. I don't sleep as well. I wake up more lethargic. By not eating a meal, I wake up refreshed and recharged. I've had a great night's sleep. I'm ready to face the day.
So what would you say your non-negotiables are? Those must-do activities.
Well, I think so many little things, like I'm a big advocate for getting plenty of fluid in your body. I always drink probably nearly 2 litres of water in the morning, a litre before I go for a walk, and probably nearly a litre when I come home, and then I drink a lot more, probably 3 or 4 litres a day. I'm probably a little bit different. I like a good breakfast, a pretty big breakfast. I have fruit salad and stuff, because some mornings I walk 15 kilometres and gone for a swim in the ocean and a bit of body surfing, so I've burned up a fair bit of energy. So I think just recharging the batteries at the start of the day, burning off a bit of excess rubbish, I suppose, from the night, getting plenty of rest, being active, not stressing about whether you're active or not, getting out and doing things, having a bit of the spare time. Like I have a day every week, which is Helen Day. And that Helen Day is I spend time with my wife. If she wants to do something, we do it. If we want to do something in the garden, or we want to go somewhere, we can do it. If we want to go away for the weekend, we do it. You know, I'm always got my time blocked out so that in the calendar so that people can't control me. I control my time. That's probably a really big non-negotiable, controlling my time, so that I can do the things what I want and when I want.
Yeah. So you've just said that you spend time with your wife. She doesn't just revolve around you. She obviously has her time too.
Yeah, she has her own life. She does some volunteer work with Vinnie's. She has a group of girlfriends she goes out with, things like that. So she's got her own circle. She's got her own lifestyle and that sort of thing. She likes to come for a walk every now and then on the beach. She goes dancing with friends, things like that. She loves doing things in the garden. Yeah, all these loves cooking. Being Greek Cypriot, that's part of their lifestyle.
And of course,
And
you enjoy that part of it too.
oh, I think I do. She's an amazing cook, so I do love her cooking. Yes, yeah, and I love the food anyway. Yeah.
So I want to just say there that, wellness is about a balance, not just in what you do in your own day, but a balance with, interacting with people in your life and not controlling somebody else, but trusting them and giving them some space to be who they are and not trying to make someone who you think they should be. And your wife doesn't do that to you either. She gives you your space, you do your thing, and you come together and you enjoy each other's company and love life. And I think that's a really good recipe for wellness.
I think part of that is communication as well. So you've got to be open and
Oh, for sure.
communicating to each other, giving
Absolutely.
each other space and listening to each other. And I guess we think very much in the same way. She'll say something and I'll say, I was about to say that, or whatever.
Yeah.
Vice versa. And it happens not just once or twice, it'll happen half a dozen times a day. And we're just thinking the same thing. We say the same thing for some reason.
You're on
And
the
we're on the
same
way.
wavelength.
Exactly. Exactly. But I think in all that, like you part of the Happy Neighbourhood project with as a co-host. I've seen you develop because I know I've encouraged you. And I think that's giving to other people is just as important. You want to see other people successful. You want to see other people grow. It's not about just you taking from other people. If you can give and help other people, well, you're in a better space. You feel good about it when you see people successful and grow.
You just jumped the gun. That was going to be my next kind of question. But you can elaborate on it a little bit more because do you think that being involved in a bigger than you activity, giving to community in some way, and I know you just told me that Helen donates her time to Vinnie's, and you do some work for HNP as a captain, and you manage the co-hosts and things like that. And that's a pretty big thing to be involved in. And you help people and you mentor them. So you give your time additionally to those people, right?
I
To
think
develop them.
I think as you grow older, you become more that sort of person that you're willing to give more. But I guess I've been doing a lot of my life anyway because I've been involved in sporting clubs and coaching, president, administration, all that sort of stuff. So I've been giving at some stage throughout my whole life. And I think when you've got the attitude of trying to make the world a better place, like we're part of the Happy Neighbourhood project, the ethos is to make the world a better place, a happier, smiling place where it's better to live in. Well, you're making it better for not just you, but you're making it better for everyone else. And when you're doing something that's on a level of good, I'll call it that way, it makes it easier. And like you're talking about wellness, well, wellness is on a level of good. You want to be better, you want to improve, you want to help you grow and be a better person. The same with, for example, Happy Neighbourhood Project, you as a co-host, growing to be a better individual, helping you not just be a co-host, but be a better person in running a podcast, for example, and something like that. You take away something from the experience of being a co-host. That's fantastic. And I think that's even more rewarding. When you're in a good state of mind because you've done a good thing, you feel better and it makes you healthier as well.
Absolutely. Well, that's been a really wonderful interview, Ian. Thank you very much. And I'm sure people are mind boggled about getting up at 3 or 3:30 in the morning.
Trust me, it is one of the best times of the day. It's peaceful. You've got your own time. I put some earplugs in and off I go for a walk and I listen to a podcast. And guess what? It's amazing what comes into your mind and how many problems you can solve at that time of the day. And when I get home, I feel amazing, ready to face the day because I'm fully charged, energized.
Fantastic. And I'm sure our audience will have some takeaways from this interview because there were some really good points raised. Now, to wrap this interview up, let our audience know how they can get in touch with you if they wish to connect.
Probably the easiest way is you'll find me on LinkedIn. You'll find me on Facebook, just Ian Kingwill, Kingwill with an I, W-I-L-L, not E-L-L. And you'll find me at Happy Business Networking with Kristine quite regularly. So find me out or reach out to Kristine. She'll tell you how to find me.
Thank you, Ian, for sharing your story with us. It's been very interesting learning about your unique blend of wellness. Now, thank you all for tuning in today. I'm sure you found Ian quite interesting too. And I learned a few extra things about him today as well. So I'll see you next week with another interesting person to interview. See you then.
Thanks, Kristine. Bye for now.